Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. This is more like an update to an add-on that we've talked about before, and this add-on is BOTANIQ from the folks at Polygonic. Right now they've released an update to version 6, and this comes with a couple of utilities that can help you work better directly in Blender. And for those who like to get this, maybe you've not gotten it before, maybe you want to get it or you have it and you want to update, you may simply go over to the link in the description and grab this. Now the BOTANIQ is a truck library of plants, flowers, trees, shrubs, and all those beautiful things you would like to put in your scene. And for those who like to also scatter and also paint weight, the brand new features that comes with this one even makes it more accessible and easy for you to work with. So just in case you have this, or once you download this, you need to go over to Blender, go over to Edit, go over to Preference and install it. So for this example, I'm just going to throw in that grid right here and press N on the keyboard to grab this. And if you go over to this section, you notice that we have Polygonic. Now once you click on Polygonic, everything seems to look the same, but it's not. So how do you get started? You select the object or the plane where you want to scatter things, and you can simply click on the scatter asset to scatter stuff. Meanwhile, within the asset section, they've updated the number of trees that you can get. So the number of trees that you can get are way more now. So if you go over to the the Conferrios, you can see we have some more. If we go over to the grasses, you notice we have some more grasses right now, and there are just some very cool ones that they've updated right here. So for the scattering is even way easier now, as once you select the object and click on scatter asset, you can simply click on the plus sign right now and choose the set of assets that you would like to scatter. For those who want to make a brand new versions of stuff they would like to make, or you want to load up some presets that you've saved out already, you can simply use the new section to do that. Go over to the BOTANIQ section, click on this button, and you see you have tons of stuff. And like I said, scattering is even easier now because we can choose to start with a basic grass and click on OK, and by default this is what we get. So let's zoom right in to take a look. Okay, this is what we get. But then sometimes you may not have the computational power to get these things happening, and you want to scale this down and save the other parts for rendering. And what you can do now is you can go down over to the display section and you can literally turn this down. So it saves your computer enough memory, and you can now work easily directly in your viewport, still visualizing what you're working with. Something else which also makes sense is directly here, you can also choose how you want these things to be displayed. If you want them to be displayed as wires or solids, or maybe if you want them to just be displayed at bounds, you can simply have this, and this is going to be quite easy just in case you don't have that processing power to get things up and running. So let's set this to texture and proceed with some other cool stuff you can do with this. So right over here there's a plus sign. If you click on the plus sign, you can add more. If you don't want to add more and you like to build your own settings, you don't want to use the preset, you can scroll all the way down, and right here you will notice the object that makes up this. So if you click on the plus sign, you can choose from the list of things that exist. So within the flowers, you can see there are some cool sets of flowers here. So I can choose like the sunflower and click on OK just to have one sunflower here, and you can see the sunflower just spreads across. We can scroll all the way down, select that sunflower, and we can also choose to increase this depending on how much stuff we want. And you guys already know that this is relative to the size of your base. So if we also go in there and we scale this a little bit more, so I think we scale this within the wrong axis, so let's just go ahead and scale this about a point like so. Click on OK, and then we can zoom right in to preview this. All right, so let's go in, and you can now easily preview this. Now, depending on what you want, you can play with the count. So if you want this to drop in count, you can play with the count as well. And if you would also, all right, this one makes a lot of sense. By default, you actually get the same size, which is literally not so realistic. But then if you would also want to get a randomization based on size, if you scroll all the way up now, you can now have some random sizes. Okay, and you can also choose to play with the scale. So just in case you want to make this bigger, smaller, depending on the scene that you're working with and depending on how you want to get things going, you can choose to make all of these changes. Scrolling all the way down as well, you would also notice that there is a find missing file, and in case you have duplicates, maybe by mistake you made duplicates, you can now click on remove duplicates to remove these things. So for the most part, this is this is pretty nice. And for those who would also like to paint weight, painting weight is even easier now, as once you click to select the surface where you're scattering stuff, you can now go all the way, click on this button here, and you can choose to paint weight. So you can paint weight however you want, and your painting weight is relative to the base. So depending on how how subdivided the base is, this is how smooth your weight painting is going to be. So once you're done, you can go ahead and click on recalculate density, and you can click on go back. Something else which also makes sense is right here you can also play with the number of particles that you have. So you can drop this down. Since these things are driven by particles, you can drop these things down and you can crank these things up, and you can also choose to play with the number of stuff that gets displayed. So right now everything seems to be displayed at 100%. We can actually drop this down depending on what we want to get within our scene. And for this one, I can drop this about maybe something like this. And of course you can see that the number of particles that shows here is actually in relation with the number of particles that we have in our scene. So this is actually a very, very good one. And for anyone who wants to get this, this is a cool tool that you would definitely want to take a look at. And of course, I did own this tool some time ago, and it just makes a lot of sense, especially when you want to scatter stuff and when you would also want to play with trees and also some very cool grasses directly in Blender. And that's definitely going to be about it. If you want to read more about the documentation, you want to read more about the stuff and how you can get started with it, link is going to be in the description where you can take a look at it. For those who have questions, you can also go over to the frequently asked questions to take a look at these things and get up and running with it. And for those who want to get these with the 33% or the 100% features and bonuses, you can actually go over to the link in the description and get this right now, as this is going to be available from now till the 10th of January. So the version 6.1 has all of these features, and the price is still down based off the December sale. So if you want to get it now, you can simply avail yourself this opportunity and save on that buck. So this is definitely about it. For those who would also want to check out some of the folks, some of the things that the folks at Polygonic have, if you go over to their page, you would also notice that they have some pretty cool stuff. So things like the TRAFFIQ, the render manager add-on, and also material, and some cool stuff. You will be able to find these things there. And for sure, link is going to be in the description where you can find this, and also link is going to be in the description where you can join the Discord. And for those that would like to also see some other cool tools that are on sale right now, link is also going to be in the description where you can check these things out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And until I see you guys again with the tutorial update, Free Friday, Tutorial Tuesday, tips and tricks, things like this. Peace.